What up? What up? What up? Ladies and gents, boys and girls, you are now tuned in to a brand new video of Sportsway with Dre Day podcast. I am your host with the most, the Hood's ESPN, Crystal Street's very own, Dre Day. What's up? What's up? What's up? Once again, thank y'all for your continued support of the podcast. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. If you haven't already, bottom of the screen, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, hit that notification bell so that way once a video is uploaded, you will get a notification letting you know that I dropped a new video. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, all that good stuff. Scream at your boy. This video here, if you've been following the channel, don't really do college football like that. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to front like I do, because obviously I don't. Y'all can even see the videos. It ain't that much college football, if it's any. Okay, this video that I'm going to do, it was fitting for me to do it because I felt it was time for a change at LSU, and after watching that beating that LSU got displayed on them this past weekend against Texas A&M, it was in that moment that I knew Brian Kelly was about to be done at LSU. I just knew it. You're looking at a coach who was paid a handsome amount of money, and there's certain schools that you are required to actually do some damage and do some good deeds. And LSU is one of those programs. Notre Dame is one, Alabama is one, Ohio State is one, USC is one. So if you get a coach and they're not producing wins, especially in conference play or even college football playoffs, you got to hit the bricks. And in this situation, that's what happened with Brian Kelly. I believe he made his debut with LSU in 2022. And his first press conference, I knew it wasn't going to last. The man got up on that podium. I don't know if it was a press conference or he addressed the crowd in LSU. I don't know if he was at a Pelicans game or if he was at the LSU stadium arena. And he put on this fake ass Southern accent. When he did that, I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew it wasn't, because you wasn't being yourself. You was trying to blend in with them instead of being yourself. So when that happened, I knew it wasn't going to cut it. But now let's get to the football aspect. Since 2022, he has a 34-14 overall record with LSU. In conference play, they're 19-10. Okay, but here's the thing. Granted, you got them to a SEC championship game in your first year. Everything after that has been disappointments. And then you factor in this year, where you start the year at number 9. You get a big win against Clemson, if I'm not mistaken. You get a big win against them to start the season. You move up to number 3. You lose a game, and then you move all the way down to number 11. Now you're on this crazy losing streak where you've lost 3 out of 4, and now you're unranked. And then to add insult to injury, this past weekend, you get smoked by Texas A&M. Now, granted, Texas A&M is an amazing team. I believe they're in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken. But for you to get trounced 49-25, and then to make it even worse, it was in your building. It was in your house, a nationally televised game, and you get washed like that. I knew it was a fireable offense. Because I'm back and forth. Like, I'm back and forth with it. I'm watching the LSU game. I'm watching the versus battle that happened with Cash Money and No Limit. I'm back and forth tussling these things. And when I saw that score, I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this upcoming week he gets the axe. And then bam, today, which is Monday. I mean, it'll probably be Wednesday or Thursday when this drop, but today, Monday, he gets the axe. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. This was a fire that needed to happen. And then you got to think, this year, a lot of coaches are being fired. A lot. James Franklin got fired. I believe Florida's coach got fired. Brian Kelly got fired. So I think those this has been the year that these high-profile coaches that got paid all this money to produce something ain't working and they're getting fired. Now, granted, he's owed $54 million. So I'm quite sure he probably doesn't complain. I'm quite sure he doesn't complain and not upset. Well, I'm not going to say not upset that he got fired because nobody wants to get fired, but he ain't stressing because he know he has $54 million still waiting for him. He's still going to get that $54 million through a buyout. So he okay with that. But this just goes to show you that when you are coaching at a marquee program, your job is to produce. You can't just rack up these wins. Now, yes, again, I'll read the records to you. 34-14 overall, 19-10 in SEC play. Winning record, right? Not good enough. Not good enough. It's the same thing with James Franklin at Penn State. He had a very impressive record. He had a very impressive record overall. But his problem was he couldn't beat the top teams. When he went against those top teams, it was a loss. Now, granted, Penn State did something great last year in the college football playoff. But what happened when they got to the Final Four? They got bumped, which was probably expected. Then you come into this year, they were, I believe, the number 1 ranked team in the country. I think they won their first 3 games. Then they lose to Oregon, and then they start losing. And what do? They fire him. Because when you're playing against those top teams, which is primarily Ohio State and Michigan, because again, that's Big Ten play. When you play those 2 teams, you can't beat them. In his tenure at Penn State, he couldn't beat Ohio State or Michigan to save his life. He couldn't do it. And for certain programs, it is a requirement to beat your rival. Jim Harbaugh had to deal with that when he was at Michigan. When he first got there, he couldn't beat Ohio State. Then after a while, he turned the curve and beat them. And it also didn't hurt that he led them to a national championship game. Brian Kelly was supposed to get LSU to a national championship game. With the money that they paid you, you were supposed to get them to a national championship game. And if you can't do it, then we can't keep you here. Now the question is, who do they go after? Do they go after Lane Kiffin? Do they try to get him out of Ole Miss? Now, mind you, Ole Miss is in the SEC. Do you shake things up and try to lure him to come to Louisiana? I know you're not going after Nick Saban because Nick Saban, yes, he did coach at LSU. Before he coached at Alabama, he won a national championship with LSU. But he's too loyal to the soil right now to Alabama that I don't think he will come out of retirement to coach for anybody but Alabama. But I think he's done with coaching. And at his age, he should be done. And besides, he's having so much of a damn good time with College Game Day with Pat McAfee that I don't even think he wants to come back to coaching. But there are some names out there. Look, James Franklin ain't doing anything. He just got fired from Penn State. Do you try to go after him? Only time will tell. But then again, there are some coaches that are with programs that are probably looking to go somewhere else. Does Dabo leave Clemson, go to LSU? Only time will tell. But again, this was one fire that I was okay with. I mean, you don't like people losing their jobs, but we're in sports media. We have to talk about it. So there are some, jobs that are lost where you like, well, I'm a little iffy on that one. Nah, I don't think that one was a good idea. Yeah, this one I totally agree with. This is one of those ones where I was like, yeah, this was a fireable offense. It was. It was. For you to start the season the way that you did and then lose 3 out of 4, and then the last one, you get your ass handed to you at home. Like, they had no heart in that second half. None whatsoever. They couldn't tackle. They couldn't do anything on that field on both sides of the ball. And then you just look at his face on the sideline. He looked like somebody that was defeated. He looked like somebody that was checked out. I was like, yeah, it might be time for him to go. And then I followed Marcus Spears, Swagoo, who's on ESPN First Take. I think the day after, he posted a video on his IG, and he was saying that how, it's a sad day for LSU. Well, sad weekend for LSU. Don't be surprised if some changes come, yada, yada, yada. As soon as he said that, then I'm like, yeah, the writing's on the wall, because this is somebody who played at LSU. So this is somebody who would definitely know the ins and outs of what's going on at that university. Like, this ain't just somebody that was a bench warmer at LSU. This was somebody that actually played the intricate part at LSU. I think he was a defensive end linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. He was definitely on the defensive side of the ball. So if he said that, once he said that, I'm like, yeah, he might be out of here. Now, granted, the years he coached there, he had a winning record. But again, there's just certain programs that where you coach, you are required to win. And unfortunately, he could not get LSU to the promised land while he was there. It's 4 years. He couldn't get them there. 22, 23, 24, 25. He couldn't get them there. So now they got to go somewhere else. I do believe he'll coach again. This is what I think he should do. I think next year he should not try to come back. I think he should take a full year off, and in 2027 come back to coaching. That's just my honest opinion. I think he should take a full year off, dust things off, and then come back in 2027. That's just my opinion. But I don't want to stay on here too long. So it's a wrap for this video. Once again, thank y'all for y'all continued support of the podcast. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Again, it's right there on the bottom of the screen. Hit that like button. Share this video. Leave a comment. Also, hit that notification bell, so that way once a video is uploaded, you will get a notification letting you know I dropped a new video. Again, like the video, share the video, tell a comment, scream at your boy, holla at me. And again, thank y'all for y'all continued support. In closing, y'all know how this goes. This has been another video of Sportsway with Dre Day Podcast. Catch y'all on the flip side. God bless. Peace and love. Your boy is out of here. Peace.